I'd just like to share, I had posted real quick like a dream that I had on theiironsmiths.com. I called it Martial Law Dream, and just kind of talking about things with my husband today and stuff that he's been led to, the Lord's been bringing upon his heart, and I'm now seeing the connection of this dream. I don't know that it's so much martial law, but I feel that it has to do with the whole Jade Helm thing. And I warned my husband that I was going to put him on the spotlight just so that he could give a few words about the whole Jade Helm thing. So there you are, honey. Jade Helm, what is it?
Alright, so Jade Helm, well, nobody really knows exactly what it is. It's a special operations by the military in different branches, from the Navy SEALs, Rangers, Green Berets. About 1,200 special ops in 7 different states: California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and Texas, I believe. And it's going to be a 3-month operation from July 15th, or June or July 15th to September the 15th. And what they're supposed to do, from what I've read, is to kind of mirror into society without being known, and then at some point in time in September, extract out to some specific location that's been designated. They say they're doing this because of the new challenges facing terrorism this day, with homegrown terrorism and the illegal issues that we have with the Hispanics coming across the border and all that stuff. So I don't really know what it's really about. Nobody else does. Lots of political people in these areas are concerned because they have a map of Southwest United States that shows Texas and Southern California and one other state labeled as a hostile state for this operation. So everybody's really on edge about it because it's nothing of this magnitude's ever been done. I was explaining to Freedom that last year, I believe it was in Virginia, the Navy or Marines, they did some sort of venture as well, such as this, but not on the grand scale of this many states. I think that's what's getting the recognition of it, and they're labeling such states as hostile states, and there's just so much mystery surrounding it. And of course, you got all your conspiracy theorists out there thinking the government's going to try to take over everything. But in a nutshell, that's what it is, what it's actually about. Nobody just really knows, but there's a lot of things that are going on and kind of correspond with the same time period, so it'll be interesting.
Okay. Thank you for your description. And now I'll talk about my dream a little bit more. In this dream, I was in this house, and there were lots of people kind of congregating in little clusters all over this neighborhood, and like in the house that I was in, everybody was looking around at what was going on. And I kind of like correlate that to this whole Jade Helm thing. A lot of people were talking and speculating and whatnot. But, and what I put up on the forum, I didn't include this little part because I was just getting the gist of it up real quick. There was a part in the dream where people were like, not really concerned about their kids and whatnot. Somebody had dropped off this little girl, and she was snot-nosed, and like nobody was really doing anything. And so, you know, I further interpret this as, you know, nobody's really paying attention to what's really important. Everybody's just kind of, you know, looking around, speculating, whatever, but not really keeping house, you know. And so anyhow, when I looked outside, I could see lots of vehicles with lots of different kinds of civilian type of uniformed people. I remember specifically seeing a guy in a kind of a beige kind of shirt, and it reminded me of like a Boy Scout type of leadership uniform. But there were many different types, and the whole Jade Helm thing, it's you know, an infiltration of all these many different groups, special ops of all different, and into civilian, you know, society. And so I was like, man, that's what it is. So anyhow, the last part of the dream, I saw a truck go by, and it was like full of bloodhounds. And even today, the Lord just kept saying, bloodhounds, bloodhounds, you know, because you know a bloodhound can search for people, right? But I felt the Lord was like, you gotta look it up, you gotta look it up, there's a key there. So when I looked it up, a page off of Wikipedia just kind of, or a line just kind of jumped off the page. And it said, used from the Middle Ages onward for tracking human beings. So I feel like what this is really about is setting up the tracking of human beings in the future. So I definitely want to share that with you. At the very, very end of the dream, I remembered, you know, while everybody else is standing around talking, but for me, as soon as I saw the bloodhounds, I knew I had to take cover. And so I was already planning in my mind that I was going to go down to the river, because I had remembered that there were some trees that were right on the edge of the river, where half of the trees in the river and half isn't, that the root system comes down and it would almost be as a cover. I knew that my best chance for avoiding the bloodhounds finding me was that I had to get in the water and I had to get muddy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be underneath this tree, this root system. Of course, you can probably look into that spiritually. It's like, where's your root? Where are you grounded? Is it in Jesus? And is that your foundation? And if you're in it, are you know, you'll be hidden. So that's kind of what I was getting out of that. But for tracking human beings, boy, that really just struck me. So I want to share that with you. Feel free, if you get anything else, you have interest on the subject, 2 bits to share, and what the Lord's been sharing with you, theironsmith.com, and just look up that martial law dream and add to it.